The price of fuel has risen to as high as 4,000 shillings or even more for a litre of petrol at filling stations up country. While here in Kampala, some stations retail petrol at 3,500 shillings. Yet a few weeks ago, it went for 2,400 shillings. Motorists are bearing the brunt of the increments. These truck drivers sometimes park their cars because they cannot afford fuel. But once in a while, a client ought to hire them to transport sand to their construction sites. Business is at its lowest now due to the high fuel prices. Inevitably, the motorists have to transfer the costs onto their customers, which in turn cuts down their clientele.
Before we could get about 10 customers, but because of the fuel, now we can get only 3 customers.
It has caused us a problem because now the customers, we are increasing the price, and some of them are not willing to board our border.
In the greater scheme of things, though, these taxi drivers and other commercial transporters have to refuel despite the odds, since this business brings food on the table. And as a way of cutting costs, they wait for peak hours to make up for the extra shillings spent on fuel.
We increase the fares depending on the number of people on the road.
So, what if all these motorists were to park their vehicles and not come to work for weeks on end?
When they do not produce, then we cannot earn revenue that runs the economy. We cannot have domestic saving, neither can we attract now foreign investment because of this.
Some analysts argue that this rise in fuel prices is an international phenomenon, but feel that in Uganda's case, the private sector has not been well regulated.
All over the world at the moment, of course, fuel prices are somehow high. But in Uganda, it is excessive due to lack of government's intervention.
Dr. Lubega says government can do something to lessen the burden on motorists.
Government can subsidize by reduction of tax regime on fuel. Government, for example, may also waive taxes. Government also should come in and support the private actors who are operating fuel businesses to establish or construct reservoirs.
The national oil reserves in Jinja are empty and not even well maintained. Putting the reserves to good use can keep the country running at times of scarcity. For now, though, the average Ugandan is feeling the pinch, and it's not clear when things will get better. Florence Naliimba, NTV Tonight.